Good morning, friends and viewers. Today we're going on a very good and long expected trip. We're going to the Lake of Mangat in Northern Thailand on a kayak trip. 5 days is supposed to be, but if it's going to be 5 days, that is for the future to tell. But just to give you a little heads up on how to transport all the gear for two person, because I'm going with my son up to the lake 70 kilometers from here and then go kayaking with food and all it takes. Then this is how it looks like. My trusted little motorbike, it's 150cc with a sidecar. And on this motorbike you have it all. My kayak is there, two-person kayak. We got food for 5 days. We got the camping gear. We got all we need. So my son just takes this little handy MSX motorbike up there with his bag on his back, and then I will be driving on this one. So the plan is really that today we will just hit the road up to about halfway point, and then we'll stop for a cup of coffee and a bit of breakfast. Then we will keep on going up to the lake, have the kayak set up, and we'll keep off paddling. If we're really lucky, I suppose about 3 or 4 o'clock we'll probably find a good campsite and we'll be using that. But whether plans holds up or not, never know. When we do kayaking, it's very important to be flexible, be able to adapt and overcome, and just take it one step at a time. Ain't that right, Jacob?
Huh?
Ain't that right? Just say yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, see you on the road. We got the kayak set up now and had ourselves a little bit of a lunch up in the restaurant. Good food, cheap too. I think we paid about 35-40 baht for a cow pat and a pat kapow. And that's the way we're going. Really looking forward to it. The kayak here is all set up. 2 persons. And well, there we are. Finally on the water, and this is a virgin trip, you could say, in many ways. First off, first time ever that I've packed it up with gear for 2 persons for a 5-day trip, and first time it's ever have 2 persons in it. Me being at about 230 pounds and my son being at somewhere around 160. We're taking up a pretty good deal of the 600-pound workload that this kayak can do. But it is holding up very well. Look at how good it is doing. And look how it looks out there. Fantastic. This is what we're going for. We're going straight out there somewhere where there is a some rafts for the tourists to enjoy themselves. Jacob, don't stop working.
I'm tired.
No, cannot be tired yet. And we just came from over there. So we've just been working for like 5-10 minutes, and Jacob already considering stopping because he's tired. That is the dam right over there. So it is an artificial lake. leading down to the Ping River. But it's also a test today and the next couple of days really of both the equipment and how my son is holding up for these 5 days of kayaking camping, and how the kayak is doing for our next trip coming up next month, and that is the Ping River trip. It'll be for about 8 or 9 days, and we're going to do about 80 kilometers. So all the while this trip here is more about camping than kayaking. We will be doing some exploration with it, but we'll have to do about a couple of hours of kayaking now, 3 maybe 4, and then go see if we can find ourselves a suitable campsite. And then we will hopefully find such a good one that we can use that as a base for the next couple of days. Well, let's see how it goes. As you can see, weather is perfect. We got a bit of cloud out there, but nothing that tells us that rain is coming in. We got the mountains around us. The nature is lush and green. And he's taking many breaks in front of me. Young people today, they really do not know how to work. Right, Jacob? Mm-hmm. You just have to say right.
Right.
Okay. So we've now been paddling for, was that just an hour and a half, and we're actually doing pretty good progress. I'm thinking we're doing about 6 or 7 kilometers an hour paddling, and we're not racing or anything, as I tell Jacob. It's not a race when we're out having a good time, but I decided to let him decide where to camp for the night, and he's absolutely right. It could be very nice to camp in a place where we could have the sunrise when we wake up. So to camp on the west banks of this river or this lake would be perfect. So he spotted this area, and as you can see, it actually looks quite nice. We've got some decent nice trees for the hammocks, but all the vegetation you see here, when you're out on a 200 or 300 meters distance, it just looks like somebody's cut the lawn. And once you get in there, the story is different. This is a very, very thorny vegetation, really annoying to work with. Not that it is impossible, it is not, but it is hard work. So we decided to give it a shot going a little bit further. Well, paddling for 2 hours. Finally have we got to a place that potentially could be a good spot for the night, but whether it's going to be actually or not, we don't know. But the view, I don't know if you can see it actually, but the view is fantastic. I don't know if it shines through when we got the sun straight in our noses, but if we do decide to camp here, I bet you're going to see a very beautiful sunrise in the morning anyway. But it's been cramped, so we want to take a look whether this is a good campsite or not. And if it is, good. If not, we just kind of keep on at it.
Kör du rundt? Hvad fanden er det?
Nej, det kan gå rundt.
Easy. Easy.
Easy peasy. Jamen så kommer man ombord.
Ja. Så lige den er på. Er det for, hvis vi filmer, hvis vi falder?
Ja. Men det er selvfølgelig så god odds for jer.
God odds for jer at komme ned ad bakken jo.
Ja. Men,
Not at all.
To år senere.
Ah, nej, 3,5 far.
Second option being explored. Junior is out there trying to figure out if it's a good spot. Heat is relentless, double up by the absolutely blank water as you can see out there. There's really little or no wind, really hot. So, is it good?
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay, so I got to take a look. Well, gotta go up to take a look. I think we got a fairly promising place. Bit of biting ants here, but this is how it looks like. This is going to be our view, and right down there we got the kayak. It's not that it's that far away, but I really think this looked promising. We'll be in the shade, protected, yet we got a good view, and seems to be a good firewood here as well. I kind of like it, so let's check it out. Oh man. Bit of a bummer. But if it's a big bummer or not, I don't know. We got animal trails here. It seems like we found our spot. Look at this place here. It is a peninsula, but it's all cleared. No hostile vegetation, apart from one little bit on the way. There's an animal trail of sort coming in here, but it's a dead end, so I don't think it's used that much. In addition to that, Junior has found some way to park the bike more the kayak more conveniently.
Guys, look at this.
Yeah, I'm on the way.
It's beautiful and perfect. Really perfect.
Oh, that was the spot we were talking about. Remember? But it looked too closed. Brilliant. That'll be it. Okay. Let's get the camp set up. Alrighty, we have actually been very, very lucky. The campsite is perfect, as you can see. I don't know if I can do that for the sun, but my hammock over there. We got the cooling bag with all our food, and I've got my electronic equipment in my yellow bag, and the rest of the equipment, cooking equipment and whatnot, up in my other bag. And Jacob is camping right over here. And you can see we're both using the same double hammock system, a simple, cheap hammock underneath for all the things we want to have above our hammocks, above ground, sorry. And when we get into the hammocks, it does sink, but it doesn't sink as far as the lower hammock. This way we got everything off ground, no matter what. Anyway, there are days and times where I'm thinking, wow, I wish I could get the scent, the smell of what I'm looking at, like when people are baking cakes or people are walking in beautiful flower parks. And then there are times where you think, oh, thank God there ain't any scent on a TV, because I can tell you, after paddling a couple of hours and setting up camp in this humidity, we do not smell very well. So our solution to that is to go out and get ourselves a swim. And then when we come back, we're probably gonna bunk in for the evening, just for a few hours, depending on how it is here with the mosquitoes, because usually around sunset they become really vicious. So habit of mine is that about 5:30, 6 o'clock, go sleeping, not sleeping really, but just hung in the bunks and wait for the hours to pass until about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then all the mosquitoes more or less are gone and we can start do some cooking.
Kan du bunde derude?
Nej. Okay.
Bare. Jeg kan bare ikke lige gå på det her.
Det er bare lidt glat, det eneste.
Jeg tager sgu kroksene på, tror jeg. Er det godt?
Nej, de lækker. Er det ikke lækkert?
Jo.
Signaturfoto. Ligger med sin crocs ud.
Bare prøv lige at flytte, du skal ikke forstyrre.
Jeg skal ikke forstyrre dig. Ah, du er også snyd, du har bilring. We got a lot of visitors in the night. Look at my underwear. I must have been eating something they really like. Yeah, it's been a lot of mosquitoes in the night time, seems to have gone now, but still a lot of insects out here. I'm not really feeling up for a lot of fun and interesting cooking, but I prepared my chili con carne there, and just out of curiosity I might actually prepare it. Otherwise, camp looks good. Jacob had experimented with some new kind of knots of his own invention, and they were not proven very well, so sorry. All of a sudden he's yelling, Daddy, something's under my hammock, something's under my hammock. And I could only conclude, yep, Earth is under your hammock. It was all gone down. Anyway, solved it. Now it's working again. So that's it. Dinner time. Jacob, he tried to make some bread. Slightly less successful. I don't think he had the patience really. So today I am making an improvised dish here. It is chili con carne with pork loin and pasta, and it's all been dry dehydrated. I had my pork loin slow roasted on a slow cooker for 6 hours, so that it was just like pulled pork and with a lot of spices, and it really tastes good. And then I had that dehydrated separately, and I made my chili con carne just yesterday and dehydrated it. It took actually 15 hours to dehydrate. And then I finally had my pasta dehydrated as well, all in order to be able to make a dish in a fairly quick. I mean, whether it's good or not, that is for the future to tell, but I'd say in about 5 minutes we will know. It certainly does smell good. So Jacob, you're not going to eat tonight?
Huh?
You're not going to eat tonight?
No.
No. Why not?
Good question.
Good question. So I'll make a separate video for that later on, how I make these dishes. But we also got shepherd's pie with us, and we got a curry pasta dish with us, and that's the only 3 dishes really we took. We also bought solutions so we can bake our own bread, and we obviously got eggs with us too. So it's actually a very luxurious kind of camping trip we're on here. Now I'm just waiting for this to hydrate properly, and then it is dinner time. Good morning. It's a very beautiful morning. I don't know if you can hear it. Well, there's a bird, but there's also somebody snoring here. It is 7:30. It's been a bit of a rough night. There's a lot of mosquitoes. Not that they could go into us because we were lying in our Hennessy hammocks, and they're really good for that. But a lot of noise. And according to my son, he couldn't sleep because I was snoring, but I couldn't sleep because he was snoring. So who was right? I don't know. But I was definitely not dreaming. I'm impressed how much a 17-year-old can be snoring like a proper seaman. Anyway, it is a wonderful morning. We got the sun rising over here. It's quite misty, and then we got the sun just coming on the mountains here on the back. Well, let me just show you for a moment to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Look at that. This is my view. And as you can see, we got the mist here. So the sun is rising over there somewhere, just behind the bush. So very, very nice view. Love it. Anyway, now the plan is to get myself some breakfast, and but first order of business would really be to make myself a cup of coffee on my trusted and beloved coffee machine here. Now, you noticed I've got water here. Bought it in 7-Eleven. Altogether we brought 8 liters of water with us, 4 liters each, which basically just lasted a bit more than the first day. So for the rest of the trip we're going to use water purification. Anyway, let's pour some coffee in here. The coffee is locked and loaded, armed and dangerous. So it won't take long, and we have got that. Now the second thing I want to do is bake some bread today. It's fairly simple. We have these pre-packaged bags that I make from home, and it fits one portion of bread, which is perfect. Basically, it's just 1 cup of ordinary bread flour, and then it is 2 spoons of sugar. It is 1 teaspoon of salt, and then I have a little bag of yeast in here. So I just gotta mix it up with some water, and when I have that, let it rise for a half an hour, and then I go bake it. And it's really delicious in the mornings. Look at that. It only take a few minutes, and we got a fantastic cup of coffee. Oh, that is gold.
Hej far.
Godt så.
Tror du kommer til at sove her i den camp igen?
Den her camp?
Mm.
Det er jeg ret sikker på. Jeg tror aldrig, jeg kommer til at sove hjemme med dig igen.
Så nyd det bare.
Der er man godt væk, hvis der er noget. Der er man ganske lidt mad ude. Der er man gerne lukket i lykke, der er ikke noget batteri. Far, jeg kan ikke lave brød. Far, jeg kan ikke lave havregryn. Far, jeg har ikke nogen brød til havregryn.
Men læg mærke til, at jeg har ikke brokket mig. Jeg har ikke vækket dig. Jeg bød den i mig, og så lå jeg hele natten lyshammervågen og på vagt. Så beskytte dig mere. Jeg vækker dig ikke.
Det er i hvert fald 100% til.
Men jeg vækker dig ikke. Og jeg lavede havregrød, og jeg spiste det, selvom jeg smagte af helvede til, at det brændte på, og det var klumpet, og jeg ved ikke, hvad det var. Det var forfærdeligt. Mit brød, jeg brokkede mig ikke. Smøde. Og jeg sagde pænt undskyld for at smide lidt mad på jorden. Er det ikke lidt til der? Rygplasker.
Ej, for du er en idiot.
Jeg troede sgu, den stod der med, jeg skulle sætte mig i.
Selvfølgelig skal du ikke sætte dig i den direktørstolen, vel? Nu er den bare våd.
Det er godt ikke en lortstol.
Ja, det er det lidt. Så vil sætte den herude. Nej, det er sgu ej, det er ikke en lortestol. Det skal bare sætte den ordentligt sted. Som der for eksempel, ikke? Så sad den jo i en.
Hvad skal vi sige til kameraet?
Jeg er lige ved at dække nu. Jeg sidder lige med reklamen her på min kop.
Så vi skal ikke så ikke noget specielt?
Jo.
Det er det faktisk at være backpackers drøm, tror jeg. Sådan.
Oh, ja.
Et flot hus, sagt derinde.
Ja. Prøv at se himlen.
Ja. Filmer den nu?
Ja. It's been a couple of good days. We've been very lucky with the weather. The sunset looks beautiful, and we haven't done as much as we wanted it to because it's also been steaming hot. So we've been sweating a lot. It has been required a lot of effort to purify water. I have to have another system than that. That is good enough for a cold climate and alone, but when we're two out here, it's just too much. But been sweating all day. We also lose a lot of minerals, we lose a lot of salt, and that's very important to replace that. And what better way than just take yourself a good old chicken soup. It's very actually easy. It's just a dice of bouillon, and then it is dehydrated vegetables that I had done before I got out here, and then it is dehydrated chicken breast, and chicken breast has been slow cooked for 6 hours, and it all in a thermal cup that I actually got from the Lana run that me and my son went to a couple of days ago. I think it was Saturday. A very tough run, 27k and 20k for me. So it was a long distance too, trail running in the mountains, but it was all worth it, even without this one, but having this one as well. Thank you, Lana. That was a good one. Now, we're not really sure what we're going to do tomorrow, but I think what we're going to do is wake up and then we'll evaluate. Are we going home, or are we staying, or are we just staying the day and going home in the night time? But it's definitely a good spot. It is. Den himmel, den er der i cirka 5 minutter. Jeg er lige nødt til at tage et billede af den.
Folk, de tror, jeg er stump. Jeg tror ikke, de kan tale.
Campsite cleaned, and we are heading home. Always important that when you're out in the places that you take all your garbage with you. Got to be honest, this place is littered with local people who's got garbage here, but there's only so much we can do. I am coming back for sure. Well, let's get the kayak loaded too. Alright guys, it has been 3 very good days, well actually 2, because this one is the 3rd one and it is just starting. Decided to head home. It is rough camping, it is. We've been camping in places where there definitely were big animals. It's probably buffaloes or similar, and not everybody slept well at night. Well, to be quite honest. I never sleep as good as I do when I'm at home and with my wife. But it is a brilliant spot, really nice spot, and this is the best spot so far, and it's very close to my home, which makes it even more perfect. And as you can see on the video, beautiful butterflies around, the view is magnificent, we are shaded when we are sleeping, and we got a nice open area up there anyway. We can make fire if we want to, but yet we also got what I kind of named the beach also, where we got this southern view. And that's the view you can see I have right here. But anyway, guys, this is what we're leaving. And it is 8:45 in the morning, and we are heading back to civilization. But I will be back, that's for sure.